Have you ever woken up from a dream and couldn't return to yourself completely? You opened your eyes, but your soul stayed behind. Something was still there. A voice, a presence, a vision. You sat up in bed, heart pounding, breath uncertain, and a strange whisper echoed through your bones. That wasn't just a dream. And maybe it wasn't. There are dreams that do not originate in the human mind. They are not born of worry, nor fantasy, nor imagination. These dreams are assignments. They arrive cloaked in silence but heavy with power. And only a few are chosen to receive them. Only a few are marked, in ways not always seen. Sometimes the mark is spiritual. Other times, it appears on the skin, a crescent moon in the palm, an M etched by invisible hands. If you've ever wondered why your dreams feel different, heavier, louder, unforgettable, this message is your answer. You see, not all sleep is rest. Sometimes sleep is revelation. Sometimes heaven doesn't wait for your permission. It visits you when your guard is down and your soul is finally quiet enough to hear. These are the dreams that burn, that shake, that stay. And if you've had them, it's not because you're strange, it's because you've been selected. So now, I invite you to listen, not with your ears, but with your spirit. Something holy may be stirring even now. If your chest feels tight, if your hands are tingling, if something within you is remembering what the mind has forgotten, that's not emotion, that's confirmation. Comment below, "My dreams are not random." Let that be your signal to the field, to heaven, to the others who are waking up through the night. And if you feel this message pulling on something sacred within you, subscribe now. Not just for content, but because this space was meant for you. We begin now. And we begin with the chase that was never meant to break you, but to awaken you. Have you ever awakened breathless, heart racing, as if you'd just escaped something unseen? In the dream, you were running, not strolling, not wandering, but running for your life. You didn't know who or what was chasing you. The shadows had no name, the fear had no face, and yet it felt real, more real than your waking life. Your feet moved, but the ground felt like sand. You screamed, but no sound came. You tried to hide, but something always found you. Then you woke up, trembling, confused, alert, and deep inside, you knew. That wasn't just a nightmare. This is where most people stop. They dismiss it, they shrug it off. They say, it was just a bad dream. But the chosen, they can't let it go. Something about the dream clings. Something about the fear feels sacred. Because deep in the realm of spirit, there are dreams designed not to terrify you, but to train you. You've been told that fear is weakness, that if you're running, you must be hiding. But in the spiritual world, the opposite is often true. If you are being chased in your dream, it may not be because you are fragile. It may be because you are powerful. The kind of powerful that threatens strongholds. The kind of powerful that awakens others. And that's why you're pursued. Because there is something inside of you that heaven has claimed, and darkness has noticed. The enemy does not waste energy on the ordinary. He chases the dangerous. And if your sleep has been shaken by these chase dreams, it's because your light has become visible. You are no longer spiritually hidden. You are being summoned. And the resistance you feel, in the dream and in waking life, is not a sign of failure. It is proof that you are nearing your breakthrough. You were not meant to run forever, but the running has shown you something. You are not weak. You are not lost. You are awake. And once you see the dream for what it truly is, you can begin to see yourself. There's a reason your dreams are not gentle. A reason they come with sweat, panic, and heartbeats that echo into waking hours. The war doesn't wait until sunrise. It rages in the night. Because when God marks someone for a higher purpose, that person becomes visible in the spiritual realm. And what you're running from in your dreams is often not a demon with a face, but a system of resistance designed to keep you from becoming. Every time you are chased, You are being reminded that your very existence poses a threat. You are not being hunted because you are broken. You are being hunted because you are whole. In ways you haven't fully realized yet. Your light disrupts. Your anointing shakes dimensions. And even when your conscious mind sleeps, your spirit remains on assignment. Think about it. Why would darkness chase after nothing? Why would fear return again and again if your faith wasn't rising? You're not imagining it. Your dreams are responding to the shift in your soul. You've been carrying something divine, and the closer you get to stepping into it, the louder the interference becomes. But there is beauty, even in the nightmare. Because sometimes, in these chase dreams, you reach a breaking point where you're about to be caught, about to fall, about to give in, and then suddenly, you fly, you leap, you escape. That moment isn't random. It's prophetic. It's heaven whispering. You were never meant to run. You were meant to rise. That's the truth the darkness has tried to keep you from. You've been running from what you should have been claiming. You've been fearing what you were called to face. But now, the shift is happening. Now you're beginning to see that the very thing chasing you was never greater than the one who chose you. If you've had this kind of dream, more than once, or more intensely each time, it's not something to ignore. It's a message. It's training. It's God preparing you for spiritual authority. Comment below. I was never meant to run. I was born to rise. Let that be your turning point. Let it echo through the field you carry, because the dream is not over, and neither is your ascension. There is a kind of dream that doesn't leave you with fear or confusion, but with wonder. You're no longer running. You're rising. You feel the wind wrap around you, and your feet lift from the ground. You don't fall. You don't flee. You soar, higher than rooftops, higher than the trees, higher than everything that once tried to hold you down. And when you look down, something inside you whispers, I remember this. Flying in a dream is not fantasy. It's not just a metaphor. It's a revelation, a sign that your spirit is beginning to awaken to its true dimension. You are no longer bound by the rules of the physical world. Gravity no longer has authority over your soul. That flight is not just an experience. It is an invitation. God is saying, look, this is who you really are. In the natural, humans were made to walk. But in the spirit, the chosen were made to ascend. You were never meant to crawl through this world, dragging wounds and regrets like chains behind you. You were made for altitude, and when you fly in your sleep, it's because heaven is showing you the realm where you actually belong. Up there, the problems look smaller. The pain loses shape, the confusion clears. Not because life has changed, but because your perspective has. That's what spiritual elevation does. It shifts your position before it shifts your circumstances. You start to see from above. You begin to understand what once made no sense. What felt overwhelming now feels distant, and the things that kept you stuck start to lose their grip. But here's the mystery few dare to face. Some who fly in dreams crash. They soar, and then something pulls them back down. A memory, a lie, a voice that says, you don't belong up there. And when they fall, they wake up feeling broken, unworthy, afraid they've lost something sacred. But hear this, if God showed you the sky, it's because He gave you wings. The fall is not the end. It's the battle for your elevation. And you are being trained, not teased. You don't have to fall again. You don't have to question your place. You don't have to keep starting over. You're not flying by accident. You're flying because your spirit remembers, and it's time to stay in the air. There are dreams where no chase takes place, no wings lift you, no storm roars around you. And yet, when you wake up, something in you has changed forever. Because in the quiet of night, when your body surrenders and your mind finally stills, heaven speaks, not always with fire, not always with visions, sometimes with a single word, a whisper, a sentence that lingers in the soul like a sacred echo. Go, wait, trust, These dreams don't come with spectacle. They come with weight. You hear a scripture you never memorized. You receive an instruction you didn't ask for. You wake up with a sentence etched into your bones. And though it may not make sense to your mind, your spirit knows it wasn't random. It was revelation. This kind of dream is one of the highest forms of spiritual visitation. Not everyone receives it. Not everyone can hold it. Because God does not waste his voice. He speaks to the willing. He deposits these messages into the souls that are ready to carry them, even before they fully understand them. That is what it means to be chosen. And if you've had this type of dream, where the voice had no face but its truth shook you, awake, know this. You were not just hearing something. You were being entrusted with a seed, with a prophecy, with a fragment of God's plan spoken in a language the world does not speak, but the soul recognizes instantly. But what if the words made no sense? What if you woke up confused? That doesn't mean the message failed. It means the message is coded. It's not meant to be understood immediately. It's meant to grow. The greatest instructions from God often arrive as riddles because the journey to understanding is part of the activation. And here's the danger. The enemy knows the weight of dream messages. That's why he rushes in with noise, distraction, doubt. He'll tell you it was your imagination. He'll flood your morning with urgency to make you forget the holy thing that was whispered just hours before. But if God said it, it will not return void. So don't dismiss it. Don't scroll past it. Don't bury it under routine. Write it down. Pray into it. Honor it. Because heaven is speaking while the world sleeps. And your willingness to listen in the dark is what prepares you to lead in the light. You dreamed of water. Maybe it was calm, a glassy lake under soft skies. Maybe it was wild, crashing. Waves, dark floods, or a river swelling beyond its edge. And maybe you woke up unsure of what it meant, telling yourself it was just a dream. But water in the spiritual realm is never just water. For the chosen ones, it is a mirror. Water reveals what words cannot say. It reflects your emotional state, your spiritual alignment, your internal battles. God uses it to show you what the conscious mind has hidden and what your spirit is now ready to face. Still waters might mean your soul is aligned, your steps are being confirmed, your path is covered in peace. You are not lost, you are being restored. This is not just serenity. It is divine alignment echoing back to you in liquid silence. But when the waters rise, when they turn dark and chaotic, when you're pulled under or swept away, don't fear. These are not simply nightmares. They are messages. Stormy water in a dream is often the spirit's way of revealing that a breaking is coming, not to destroy you, but to cleanse you, to flood away what cannot come with you into your next season. Think of Noah. The flood was not the end. It was a reset. The destruction was part of the restoration. In the same way, if you dreamed of drowning, of being submerged or overwhelmed, it might be heaven's signal. You're carrying too much. It's time to release what's crushing you. Let the current take it. Let God wash away the lies, the trauma, the fear. And here's the truth very few understand. The external water in your dream often reflects the internal state of your soul. If the waves are raging, it may be because you've neglected stillness. If you're drowning, it may be because you've tried to carry what God meant to carry for you. The storm within must be faced before the atmosphere around you can shift. But there's one more thing. If in your dream you survived the storm, if you woke up not in panic, but in peace, then something sacred happened. The waters weren't there to drown you. They were there to train you, to teach you how to walk on what others sink in, to show you that chaos is no match for a soul anchored in the divine. You were never meant to fear the flood. You were meant to command it. Not all dreams come in symbols. Not all visitations arrive with thunder. Sometimes you wake from a dream not shaken, but still, as if something holy passed through your sleep, leaving behind a silence too deep to explain. A presence, a glow, a figure without a name, standing in the center of your dream, radiating. Peace so profound that your spirit recognized it before your eyes could. These are not metaphors. They are not wishful illusions. They are encounters. And when they happen, they change you, even if nothing was said. Because when heaven sends a messenger, the communication isn't always in words. It's in being, in the vibration of truth, in the frequency of comfort that the soul knows immediately. I'm not alone. For the chosen ones, these moments are not rare. They are sacred. In seasons of exhaustion, when you've carried more than your heart can bear, God does not always wait for the day. He sends help in the night, just like he did with Elijah under the tree, when the prophet was ready to give up. An angel came, touched him, and said, "Get up, eat. The journey is too great for you." Sometimes your dream isn't a message, it's a miracle. Heaven nourishing you in silence, reviving what the world tried to kill. Other times the angel speaks, not in riddles but in clarity. A warning, an instruction, a glimpse into something you could never have seen with your natural eyes. These are the dreams you must write down. These are the ones that open paths before the danger comes. These are the ones that carry assignments. And then, there are the dreams where no words are spoken at all. The being stands beside you, watches you, looks into you, and leaves without explanation. But when you wake, you're not the same. That presence stays in your field. The weight of it lingers in your chest. You walk differently, not because something happened, but because something shifted. Don't dismiss these dreams. Don't explain them away. You were visited because heaven saw what no one else could. Your quiet obedience, your hidden pain, your unwavering yes in the midst of your doubts. And when the spiritual realm sees that kind of surrender, it responds. If you've had such a dream, you are not being watched. You are being honored. You are not just a believer. You are a carrier of light. Some dreams leave you with no images, no words, no symbols, just presence. A vast stillness that doesn't frighten. It humbles. You wake up and can't describe what you saw, only what you felt. And what you felt was sacred. It wasn't imagination. It was encounter. And in that encounter, the message wasn't spoken. It was transferred. Because sometimes heaven speaks loudest through what it does not say. This kind of silence isn't empty. It's full. Full of understanding, full of recognition, full of answers that bypass logic and settle directly into your spirit. You can't quote the dream. You can't retell it. But something inside you is different. You're more aware, more grounded, more alert to the invisible. Why? Because in that moment of sleep, God didn't just inform you. He transformed you. These silent encounters are not for the casual dreamer. They are for the deep listener, for the one who has learned to feel truth rather than chase explanation. It's in the silence of these dreams that God often rewires your path, not with maps, but with alignment. He doesn't give you a direction. He makes you become the direction, and the world won't understand it. They'll say, "It's just a dream." They'll ask, "What did it mean?" And you won't always have the words, but your posture will answer for you. Your peace will answer. Your discernment will answer. Because once you've stood in the presence of something holy, even if it said nothing, your vibration is never the same again. This is why many chosen ones wake up changed and don't know why. They walk differently, sense differently. Their timelines begin to shift, and they don't even realize that in the middle of the night, God adjusted the course of their destiny without a single word. But here's the part few understand. That kind of dream is not passive. It is invitational. It calls you deeper. It draws you into mystery. And mystery is not confusion. It is initiation. God is not hiding from you. He is inviting you to search, to seek, to trust the process of becoming. Because revelation does not always come in sentences. Sometimes it arrives in silence, heavy with purpose. And if you've ever woken up feeling like heaven was near but can't explain how or why, then the message wasn't for your mind. It was for your spirit. You were not left with questions. You were left with permission. You weren't just dreaming. You were being awakened, whisper by whisper, image by image, presence by presence. While the world turned beneath a sky of silence, heaven called your name. Not with thunder, but with sacred symbols stitched into your sleep. And if you've ever woken with your heart trembling, your eyes damp, your breath shallow, it's because your spirit was just touched by the eternal. The world will never fully understand what you carry. They will say it was just the mind. Just stress. Just neurons firing in the dark. But deep down, you know better. Your soul knows better. Because the dreams never leave you. They return, louder, sharper, clearer, not to confuse you, but to confirm what you've always sensed. You were marked long before you opened your eyes to this world, marked with a purpose that no one else can fulfill, marked with a sensitivity that others might call weakness, but heaven calls divine perception. Marked, not for comfort, not for applause, but for clarity. To hear what others ignore, to see what others fear, to speak what others silence. You are not broken, you are not strange, you are not too spiritual, you are chosen, and now you understand. The dreams were never random, the fear was never the enemy, the visions were never imagination. They were assignments, they were initiations, they were the first language between your soul and the spirit. So what happens next? Now you rise. You stop treating your dreams as noise and start treating them as navigation. You stop doubting the signs and start discerning their message. You stop hiding your sensitivity and start honoring it as your greatest gift. Because if God speaks to you while the world sleeps, it's because He trusts you to carry revelation before the rest awaken. So comment below, "My dreams are divine instructions." Let it echo into the spiritual realm. Let heaven bear witness. Let the enemy see you're no longer asleep. And if something in this message stirred your soul, if your spirit whispered, "Yes, this is for me," then don't hesitate. Subscribe now. Not for more content, but for continuation. Because your journey is sacred, and this space is just the beginning. Sleep with intention, wake with purpose, and never forget, you are being revealed now, because the world needs your light.